Jij bent van VRROOM. Dan zeg ik het goed, hè?
Ja, VRROOM.
Ja, VRROOM.
VRROOM mag ook.
Oh, VRROOM, ja. Helder. Rogier van Coolminds hier en Arjen van Sigbar en Milan. Is het Milan? Ja. Okay. Ja. Van Start Learning. Nou, leuk. Ik weet eigenlijk niet hoe we kunnen zien of we zijn begonnen.
The Rec Room knop is activated, so I think we have started at this moment.
Yeah, I don't see an audience logged in yet. Maybe because the speed dates were still going on. So, you can see on the left the audience.
7.
When
yes.
they enter.
7 speakers, 0 audience.
Yeah.
Ah, there we are.
Okay. It's just like chat roulette, eh? Like
Yeah. Cool.
we don't see the audience at this moment.
No, the audience don't have a camera, right?
Okay. Hello, Cyril.
Yeah, I'll just wait a little moment longer to see if the audience will grow, and if not, we'll just start. How about that? Okay, I think this is a time as good as any to start. So, welcome everybody to the roundtable VR AR talk. My name is Rik Boer. I will be your moderator today, meaning I will just hopefully try and get this talk going. And my main role is to introduce our guests. Because we have 4 guests today from all different companies, all in the located in the northern part of the Netherlands, and they all are digital companies, and they all do something with VR and AR in one way or another. A little household. There's a chat. People are already using that. That's great. If you have questions to me or to our guests, please use the chat, and we can see if we can answer your questions when you have them. Right. So that's that. This talk is scheduled for an hour, so we have a lot of time to answer all the questions you have. Okay. So. Before we start, and before I introduce these 4 people, let me ask you a question. I'm opening a little poll with the question, are you new to VR and AR? So this is for the audience. There we go. I'm not sure if everybody can see the results, but 78% knows about VR. Okay, that's very cool. So we don't have to explain all the basics, and we can just dive in straight ahead. Feet first, no, head first, or whatever. Okay, cool. Thank you very much. My guests, 4 companies, all digital. There are a lot of companies in the northern parts of the Netherlands doing all kinds of digital projects. But these 4 are a nice group of those. So let me stop talking. I think that's best, and I'll just ask our guests to introduce themselves. Is there anyone who wants to go first? Let me just ask Milan. Can you tell us something about your company?
Sure. Thanks, Rik. My name is Milan Vogelaar from Start Learning. I'm one of the founders there. We develop learning solutions, digital learning solutions, and training solutions for industry, mainly for high-risk and technical industries. And we use AR, VR, serious games, gamification, all these kind of tools, but also e-learning, micro-learning, learning environments. in this transition towards more efficient learning processes that hit the bottom line, because companies want to have return on investment and create value. And this is what we've been doing for the last 6 years. We have about 12 people working at our company and are always on the lookout for new talent. So here to join this session. I look forward to meeting some of you.
Thank you very much. And good to hear that you're always looking for job seekers. That's great. Okay, cool. For me, on your right is Rogier from Coolminds. I don't know if that's for everybody the same, if it's on the left or right. But anyway, Rogier, can you tell us something about you and your company?
Yes, of course. Hi, nice to meet everyone. My name is Rogier Mink. I'm a consultant within Coolminds. We are, as Rik said, a digital company with a strong focus on VR learning. Started with a product called Friendle for mental health, but that's that's a separate proposition. And more we are developing VR training in the same area, I think, as Milan, mainly focused on safety awareness. And we do that for a lot of companies in engineering industry and logistics. So that's just a quick note.
Yes, good. Thank you very much. Coolminds. Arjen from Sigbar.
Yes, my name is Arjen. I'm a consultant at Sigbar, also a co-founder. We're a digital agency. Sigbar is a South African other word for visualizing, because everything that we do is visualizing data. Het zichtbaar maken of data. And yes. We create a lot of digital platforms. And sometimes we use augmented reality at those platforms to make a difference. For instance, at the water board, we made an AR visualization about the water stress at some rain activity. So yeah.
Cool projects. Nice. Thank you very much. And then last but not least, Schelte. Can you introduce yourself and your company?
Of course. My name is Schelte. I'm from the company VRROOM. And well, behind this ultimate VR experience, we build virtual reality experiences. That's our main focus. Our focus at this moment is social VR, also called in multiplayer VR. So we try to gather people in the same environment to get a true experience. And well, our focus is on crazy stuff. So we try to build drugs in VR, like ecstasy or psychedelic. We have built porn in virtual reality. We build algorithms for stress and stuff in virtual reality. And our main focus at this moment is XR, crossed reality. So we try to combine multi-platforms and multi-devices in a crossed reality environment. And at this moment, we are building festivals for big festival companies in Holland. So we try to get 100,000 visitors virtual with light shows, bands, DJs, and stuff like that. So that's the main focus of the company at this moment. And we build with Unity, Blender, I think the other guys also. And we have, at this moment, 20 employees working, mainly developers, mainly 3D artists. So that's the focus of the company. Yeah.
Cool. Sounds very interesting.
It's nice to do.
That's great. That's great. So all of you use VR and AR in some sort of way. All a little different, targeted towards your type of client, of course. I would like to show you a little picture. So I hope you can see this. This is called the hype cycle. Maybe if you've heard of this, which is a graph in which you can plot new technology and the expectations that people have of this new technology. Now, VR and AR are, of course, here they have been here for a long time. But the big question is it still a hype? Is it a full-blown product? Can we use it? Is it still only for entertainment? Is it serious enough? So I would like to use this little graph to figure out where what your vision is on where VR and AR is. A quick introduction. You start with a technology trigger. So for instance, VR goggles are available. Everybody gets into, maybe this will look better. This is where we start. Expectations rise, and then at the peak of inflated expectations, everybody thinks everything will be possible in the future using VR, AR. After that, it's not that easy. So disillusion is happening, and then we hit rock bottom in order to climb again, and then we end up in a sort of plateau of productivity, or sort of a full-blown, full-grown technology. So who wants to share their vision on this? Where do you guys think VR is at the moment, from your point of view?
Well, I think this is a model before COVID and Corona, so it's not a model for us to use at this moment, because we're in a hype, and then it was everybody was looking. Mm-hmm. I don't believe in virtual reality, to be honest, because I think it's not a consumer product. I believe more in AR and XR products. But COVID, Corona, well, it brings a lot of work for companies like us, I guess. So we're in a hype, after a hype, in I guess more like that. If you watch the Steam figures, I don't know if you know Steam, it's a game platform, and you can see the VR user is increased with 2% of the users to 5% of the users. So it's a big start in virtual reality on Steam. So well, that's the where we are at this moment. But I believe in more new techniques than virtual reality.
Yeah, I have to agree with what Schelte is saying. I'm not sure if the hype cycle won't be valid anymore because of Corona, but we're in a unique economic situation. I think VR is much more on the slope of enlightenment, so coming out of experimentation and more into mass usage. One of the examples would be Walmart, who's training 1 million of their 2 million employees through VR. So mostly in service industry, that was a big use case. With AR, I'm also very positive about the future of AR, but I think we're at the bottom of the curve with AR, where the technology is moving. But when you talk about head-mounted AR, so glasses, AR glasses, is very early still. With AR, what we have on our phone, Pokemon Go, IKEA Place, all these cool filters that are in the social tools, that's going to explode in the next few years. And that also transfers to the business environment. So that's definitely going to pick up. So I see a large rise, and I think the reports also show that. So that's my takeaway.
Yeah.
Well, I think if I look at, I think we're quite in the same business like Milan. So if I look at the perspective of VR training for corporate organizations, we had, of course, a big step back when COVID started, because a lot of people who were discussing new innovative projects were already really happy if they could train with teams, which is, of course, a big difference from VR training. And what we have now is more and more demand, because people are now thinking in new ways of training. So I think the slope of enlightenment is about where we are in this situation. And if I look at customers that we might serve, like Albert Heijn or PostNL, we see a big grow now. But it's still, I think most, but I'm also curious what the colleague thinks, but I think most projects on VR training start with innovation. From an innovation perspective, budget, and the next step is to really create a stable operational environment for these companies to grow much further. Some people are there. We do a project for a company called Vinci, started in 2016, and they make the steps in those years and are quite ahead. But there are a lot of people who are still testing, trying to see what it can bring for their company, specific on the training situation.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Cool.
I think
Yeah.
I also
So
have to agree with.
go ahead.
That I also have to agree with Schelte that COVID has given AR and VR a real boost. We had a lot of clients that were thinking about AR. We're not doing VR, we're only doing AR. That just needed to take the step in order to stay in business, because other ways of communicating and working together didn't work anymore. We had a manufacturer of mannequins that has made some steps in AR in order to collaborate. I think that COVID has really boosted the AR and VR world.
Yeah, so that's a plus thing, so to speak. That's nice. It's if I may conclude, we are somewhere at the slope of enlightenment. We are creating more and more products, services using VR and VR and AR. Sorry.
But Rick, there is some strange thing happening in our business, and that's the new technology, because the goggles, the headsets are getting better and better and better. So everyone is getting like in the hype and getting up. So it's a little bit different, because virtual reality is invented in 74 ages ago. So it's a technique which is very old, but now the technique and the technology is getting better, and everybody adapts. The Oculus Quest 2 at this moment, it's 350 euros to buy, including tax. So it's quite cheap goggles to use, and that's the best thing at this moment in virtual reality. So also the technology industry has a lot of influence on the figures at this moment.
Absolutely, and you're right. When Oculus introduced the Oculus Go, you could see that as a new technology trigger that just fires off a new peak of expectations and so forth. You're absolutely right, I think. Okay, cool. Having said all this, this event is about working in VR and AR. So I would like to steer this talk a little towards what kind of people work in this VR and AR industry. So before we do that, I have another question for everyone, which I'll open right now. And the question is, are you a job seeker? Yes, I am. Well, not actively, or I am not. So I would like to ask the audience to fill this in. Yes. About 50% is looking, and the rest is not looking at this moment, but maybe someday. And just a few are not looking at all. Okay, interesting. Let me close this question. So the question is, what kind of people do we need? Or I should ask, what kind of people do you guys need within your companies? Who wants to tell me something about this? I know, Arjen, for example, you work with a lot of freelancers.
Yeah.
And I know, Schelte, you don't work with freelancers, for example.
No.
That is sort of the like the contract side of things. But what is it you look for in a
we believe in an ecosystem of specialized people. So we have a core team that is specialized in building platforms. So for the core team, when we're looking for people, we're looking for people who are interested in innovations. That's why we don't have a football table here, but 3D printers. So we find it cool that to have people that are looking for new innovative ways to try new techniques, etc., etc. And that's for our core team. Our core team is focused on building platforms and also using AR, VR. But for instance, we don't have 3D modelers like Schelte has. We work with our clients have 3D modelers in-house, or we have some specialized freelancer that we can bring in to do the modeling. For instance, for we have some manufacturers in the clothing industry, and it's a real. You have to be really specialized to do the clothing with 3D and how the fit is. So we bring in the expertise that we need to get the best for our clients.
Yeah. So you sort of hire specialists whenever needed. I believe, Milan, you have a sort of a similar approach. You use a number of freelancers. Is that correct?
Yeah, over the years, of course, we've worked with several people from outside of the company, especially on like niche situations or stuff that aren't a full-time role in our organization. For the people watching this, it is subject like an audio specialist. Somebody can be much more specialized in audio, but within not all of our products or projects, audio is a big part of it. So we get a really good person that's specialized in this, that ups the quality quite a bit. We sometimes use writers, like narrative writers, storytelling, those kind of aspects. We do part of that in turn, but we also get, we try to find the best people. And sometimes there's just a project and we need a little bit extra skill, extra capacity, and we try and find the best person. Yeah. Internally, we're always looking for creative, fun people who are ambitious to make the world a better place. We believe we can do that through training, through learning. We can make it safer, we can make it easier, we can make it more convenient. And we want people that believe in that. One of the criteria that we need for new people is be able to have a normal conversation with anybody, be open, communicative, social. And this is a very important aspect to work together in a team, in a large team and diverse team, but also with customers that come from a completely different side of society or industry. You want to have a human connection with them. And that's a really valuable asset and skill that we need. And that's like, if you don't have that, you're not a fit for our team. And if you're not enthusiastic about VR and AR, then I don't know what you haven't experienced yet, because this stuff is going to change the world in the next decade or two. And it's really exciting to work in this industry. So also looking for those kind of people.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So enthusiastic about the technology at hand and being able to talk to people. Yeah, sounds like
it's the basis, right? But then great salespeople, great account managers, great creative people, and we're always looking for technical people. So technical artists or programmers or specialized programmers, all those kinds. We're always on the lookout.
Yeah, that's sort of you almost say that technical skills are. Well, they are important, but the other part is maybe as important or even more important.
Yeah.
Cool. So, how's this working with you guys? What kind of people do you search for your team? Can you tell us something about that? Do you need a lot of technical skills, or is it like more graphical or What kind of people do you need?
Well, we only have technical people working. So in web development, we call it full stack developers, and our main focus is full stack game developers. And
Okay.
I see a question of Vince Daniels. Well, we mostly work in Unity. Unity is our environment. We work in Unity. It's a C#, C++ environment. And for the artists, it's more working with Blender at this moment. But also we have some projects in Unreal. Unreal is familiar also. But I'm more for Unity because it's more a technical way of working. And Unreal is more a visual way of working. And well, we're not looking for the human communication people, so that's Milan, and I understand. But we are more a team with technical geeks and nerds and people drink Monster and don't need a lot of sunlight at our company. And that's the focus because we build strange things in virtual reality, and that's the focus of the company. So. It's creative, it's important, but a little bit craziness is important also in our company. Yeah.
Yeah. And okay, there's another question. Could a project manager with no IT background fit in this market? That's an interesting question. Arjen, did you say something, or maybe someone else wants to?
Well, I think yes, it could. I think our company is quite similar to Milan. We have a team of in-house developers, which is mainly focusing on modeling and also, like Schelte said, Unity game design. But on the other side, it's really important because our focus is corporate training. So people really need to understand how business processes work. So they really should empathize within our customers, go on site. And we did some training on high voltage stations. Well, that means that you have to go on site, go with our customers to see how things work, what the safety instructions are. So I think if you look at that question, in that case, the IT background for us is not that important. It's more important how can you digital optimize that learning process together with our customer and together with a team of developers. It makes the end result, and sometimes it's even easier that you don't have the technical skills at that moment, because then you see it from another point of view. But that's a big part of our projects, to really know what's going on and then create together with a customer or learning and development specialist of customers, of partners that we have a training which have real value for customers.
Yeah, so there you have it, a complete other perspective on the ideal candidate. Well, that's cool, because there are a lot of people out there who are looking for jobs. So this is, of course, an English-speaking event targeted towards not native Dutch people. I was sort of wondering, we are all Dutch, trying to do our best in English, but how is this in your company? Do you have like English-speaking people in your teams, or do you look for them especially, or you just don't mind, or do you think, yeah, it's sort of a problem? But I'm curious about that topic, so let's dive into that a little bit, if you're cool with that.
For us, English speaking is just the same as Dutch speaking. We have two of our employees who are not Dutch. One is from Poland, and he's pendeling between Groningen and Poland. Now with COVID, it's a little bit difficult, so I think for the moment he's stuck in Poland. but it's really for us. It's the same. The company culture is also really English, and sometimes when you're at the coffee machine and you're standing with a Dutch colleague, you're speaking Dutch, and then when an English colleague hops in, you automatically switch to English. So it's yeah.
Yeah, okay, that's interesting. So for you, no, it's not a problem. That's for sure. Do you think it's a plus to have like foreign? I'm not sure that's the correct term, but non-native Dutch people in your organization?
I think it will. It opens your horizon as a company, that you also think about the Dutch borders, and it really changes the environment of a company. So I think it's a good thing to have some international employees.
All right. What do you guys think, Schelte?
Well, 80% of our business is international, so we don't do a lot of business in Holland, for instance, because we work a lot with stuff like with Steam. Good day. I'm going to call it this moment. No, I'm talking at this moment, so just wait. Sorry, there's someone coming in.
Yeah.
So our main focus is international, and well, so it's not a problem for foreign people to join our company. Most of the language is also in English, so we're talking like light baking and performance issues and stuff like that. So everything is English in our company. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, and but do you guys think it's a plus point, an advantage?
I think it is. It's really important to have diversity within the organization, so not only languages, but also ethnicity and background and all of those kind of things. They round the team. They make it more representative of the real world, and that collective knowledge and ideas they feed the concept or the designs a lot. For us, it's the same thing. We're in Groningen and Rotterdam, and in Groningen we have several people from different backgrounds. So Scotland, Cyprus, Germany, Syria, but now in the Netherlands. So all kinds of different backgrounds. So everybody speaks English, but it's good to then have a German speaker when there's assignment in Germany or client in Germany, right? Yeah. So these kind of things have big advantages. It's also just nice to meet new people from different parts of the world. Otherwise, we get this, more uniform group of people. That's not always good when talking, especially to clients in different locations.
Right.
Yeah.
So definitely welcome it. Hope somebody from this session ends up connecting with us and providing some creative or fun input.
Very good.
You have that kind of question, Rick, like what kind of people we have at this moment? Are they technical, or are they consultants, or are they architects, or can they put it in the text boxes? I'm curious.
Okay. You have a question for our audience, right? So the question is, what's your background? That's a question.
People.
Let me quickly.
I can understand Rogier and Milan are more looking for consultant people who are thinking in the process and can help in the process, like developing and building virtual reality. My kind of work is more just developing, so really the technical guys, and Arjen is also in between, I guess. Yeah. So yeah. So I think it's for both parties interesting to know what do you want, and do you want a technical discussion or how does virtual reality works? Nice.
I quickly created a little poll. So to our audience, it's a bit of a broad distinctions, but are you technical? Are you into project management, or more sales, marketing, or other?
Right.
Let's see what comes up. Oh, we have in the chat.
Creative is missing.
Oh, creative is missing. Yes.
Yeah.
Let's
If
call
you're
that.
creative, push other.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think what Schelte just said, for business development side, you can have diverse backgrounds. It's about connecting to people. It's about understanding, translating that, and internally communicating that to the development team that's working on it through the design and the art people and everybody who's involved. So I think diverse backgrounds are very good. But it's definitely also important to gain some understanding of the development process, of the limitations, of future perspectives. So that's what I mean with the background and rounding that. So in the chat, I see marketing analytics and data science. So all of the activities you do in VR and AR, they will be data points. So you definitely can do a lot with data if you aim at that. So for training, that would be measuring performance or proficiency, and for other AR tools, it can also be performance indicators, those kind of aspects. But I think it's fairly diverse. If you have your mind made up and you want to make a career in this field, you can with just about any background. If you're just enthusiastic and find the right people to work with.
Yeah.
But I think, and we're quite the same in the same business, Milan. But that's also, like you said, data and analytics will become more and more important. We just started a project with the University of Tilburg to see what can we learn about. We create a safety training for people on high voltage stations of petrochemie. Few hundred people a year are trained. All the scenarios are based on accidents or nearly accidents. So what can you learn with data, AI from all those trainings that are held within VR? Because that's the next step. Probably you can predict where it goes wrong, because you have all those data available, and we're quite curious how this will develop and what will come out of that, because I think that's we started with the hypercycle, but this is one of the next steps, I think, where VR training is going. What can we learn from all the data points that we can build in within our trading, and what can we predict or do to improve processes to prevent, in this case, we have a strong focus on safety awareness, on accidents, and that's one of the next steps. So it's really broad on what kind of people are working on this kind of solutions.
Yeah. Well, I think that's great to hear.
May I add to that? I think I agree with Schelte about the diversity with XR. So VR by itself and AR by itself, I think that is in the experimental stage much the case. But we see a convergence throughout all of these. So all of these will blend together, and understanding these different technology fields and where to use what technology for what purpose. I think that's also how Arjen approaches it from their organization. Only when it adds value to the concept is where you want to use a certain technology, and so the diversity in background and ideas. So I see in the chat master of interaction technology. That's like a perfect way to enter this market. That there will be plenty of challenges, but also in the marketing and other fields, it's where creative solutions and understanding the technology allows you to come up with new ideas, and adding data layers on top of that, you can do a lot of cool stuff that weren't possible before. So that's, I think, where we're headed, and you need a diverse background for that.
Yeah, and sort of the bottom line would be that people need to be curious. They need to be, they need to want to know how to use this. And I've seen it myself. If you start from your customer and their question, and you work from there, then technology will follow, and probably the best technology for this problem is the one you don't actually have. So you need to figure it out, right? and to do that, you need to be interested in the world around you.
Yeah, it's lifelong learning, right? So especially in this industry that's fast moving, in this technology industry, you need to learn a new tool every year, every 2 years, new possibilities come around.
Yeah.
And you just do what you can. And the people who are excited and self-motivated, they will create skills with these tools and then have the possibility to create great experiences and great solutions. So you have to have that natural curiosity to develop yourself and explore and do all that kind of stuff. So that's an important factor we look for.
All right. That sounds good, right? Meaning that 50% of our audience answered other, so not technical, not sales. So there's hope for you guys out there. That's cool, right? Okay. Another question. We've already talked about it a little, but let's say we are here again in 5 years. What would be different? What would be different? What would be normal, so to speak? Like we take for granted. What would be the next hype? What are your thoughts on that?
Well, surely we'll have those Apple AR VR glasses that have been hyped for the last 5 years. Right?
You really think so?
Yeah.
Yes.
I think everybody is wearing glasses, or well, I hope I have a chip in my brain at that moment, but that's my own wish. But I think the world is then with glasses, with intelligence, and what kind of intelligence it's connected with your phone at that moment. So your phone is the source of intelligence, and it is projected on your eyes. And well, there's a lot of technique possible with sensors and stuff like that. So it's constantly scanning the environment to create new worlds. And well, that's kind of crazy, but it's nice too. So and we have to find out well, it's more an ethical discussion. What do we want? Do we want a fake world in a real world, or do we want a fake world totally, because you don't have Corona then anymore? So there are a lot of options, and well, technology will be more inside our nature, and I think it's good, but it's a little bit scary also. Yeah.
Yeah. I always think that thinking about the future, it's real easy to dream up something using VR or technology, and I always feel like the difficult part is to figure out what you can use today, and what is viable to use right now.
Yeah, what is important is that the technology and the limitations of technology are still blocking a lot of development paths. So what Schelte talked about with the Quest 2 and what we see now with a HoloLens 2 or those kind of AR headsets. Thank you. Yeah, demonstrating that that technology will reach a price point, and I think that's what the Oculus Quest has done now. That it's available for any consumer.
Yeah.
And that is a price point where everyone will have it, just like a tablet or a laptop from their company. So when it is performance enhancing or it helps you learn, work, live more efficiently, people will get that. And first we'll see all kinds of entertainment solutions like Schelte. I look forward to experiencing that. Sounds really cool. But AR glasses, they're just not there yet. So HoloLens works for 2 to 3 hours and is dangerous in environments that have explosives, so it can't be used. There's a lot of limitations now still with that technology, but what we see happening in AR on phones, that's exploding, right? So everyone has a filter now, so it's moving in different ways than initially projected. But in 5 years, I think we'll have a critical mass of VR headsets. So that means, to me, 10 million plus maybe 50 million plus. That makes it feasible to create content with a large investment. And with AR, I hope we have consumer glasses like, I don't know, like not ugly like these. I'm at a work site at a client, and this is just running around, but something fashionable. I believe that's the way it will go. I hope it's contact lenses. That's what I'm wearing right now, so that would be the easiest. But we'll have to wait and see.
I just got it. This is NextMind. You put it on your brain like this, so you can measure your brain activity. And we're connecting it with our VR experiences at this moment. So we can see if people are happy and stuff like that, but also we can let them, if you are thinking of flying, you're going to fly. If you're thinking everything should be red, everything is getting red. So we're also combining neurotransmitting with your visual aspects. So we can combine a lot of data together to make new experiences and greater experiences, but also get deeper into the making the real world virtual. So it's quite nice to do so. And this is already buyable, affordable, and we can connect it with several environments. So I think it will be fast in the coming 5 years. So it's acceptance and afford. You have to pay for it. So I hope the big companies like Apple or Google are adapting the technology, and then it will be going fast forward. Yes.
Yeah. Arjen, Rogier, want to add something?
I think that besides the technical development, I think also most people will, just like e-commerce is a standard nowadays, I think that AR, VR will also be standard, and people won't think AR, VR is special because everyone is getting used to it. I think that in 5 years, when you have cord trouble, for instance, you grab your glasses or your phone, and the car manufacturer supplies you with an app that exactly tells you how to change a tire or do something with your spark plugs. So I think that everything will be mainstream, and the technical development will go as Schelte has mentioned. But I think the biggest difference will be that it will be an essential part of our life, and that everybody uses it, just like e-commerce and social media.
Yeah, it's going to be more available.
It's hard to add anything on this. Eh? I think all things are said for us from the training perspective, the number of headsets, but also the combination of what can we learn of the training, what can we do with what Schelte just said. If we train people in a safe environment, what can we learn about the thoughts, or what can we measure other things than within a VR headset? So it will be quite some interesting years, and last year and this year was also, of course, due to COVID, a really learning year, I think, for a lot of companies. But I think there is so much potential, and I think it's really nice to see that besides people who are now on this table, how many great VR AR initiatives are within north of the Netherlands, because I think we have a great we deliver great value from all those companies. So that's great to see, where most people think I think you all know, but when we are further down in the country, north of the Netherlands is always far away. But if you look at those VR AR initiatives, then I think we're quite ahead on some companies.
Yes, I quite agree. There's a lot going on here. Absolutely. Within these 4 companies, you guys here, the diversity of projects and products and services is already huge, and you are just 4 out of a lot of companies. For our audience, check out the websites of these guys, because they have a lot of very interesting projects showcased on there. So that's cool. question for our audience. Do you have any more questions for our guests, or are there any topics you might want to talk about? JustNet, where can we find the links? That is a good question. I believe on the website of Meet Your Future in the Digital World, under speakers. Oh, there we are.
Yeah, I like that they find it. But the question is almost a disqualifier. If you're participating in this and with our name, you cannot find our email address. You need to try harder, because it can be that hard.
Sort of. That's okay. That's nice. That's nice. Bottom line, if you want to join these companies, you need to be able to find them. Yeah, that's it.
No, but some people have already reached out to me. I'll drop mine in. I'll drop my email address in the chat. Reach out. I think it's the best way. Our website doesn't really represent what we're doing now, so let me know if you were up for a meeting and.
Your own website is always lagging, right? That's true, and even then. It's already cool. So that's cool. Indeed, if you want to reach out to any of us, emails are on the website as well, under speaker, or Milan's is just here. Yeah, then there's nothing more to say, I guess, or maybe there is, but we're sort of out of time. So if our audience does not have any burning questions. Yes, we do. Do you think VR technology will be pivotal or at least helpful in quantifying, accurately measuring things like emotions? Interesting. 100%, you say?
Yeah, well, that's the main advance of virtual reality. That's why I believe in virtual reality, because you can simulate experiences like love, like kindness, like hate, like angerness, like stress. And, well, you capture the brain with virtual reality, so you can take over it and you can program it, or you can make it softer or harder, just what you want. So that's the great power of virtual reality, and also the connection with sensor technology and eye tracking and stuff like that. Yeah. So yes, I think we can learn a lot in the virtual world of being us. But it's also a scary one, because we taught a lot of things. Don't cry, don't be sad, don't be. That's what we learn on school. So, well, everything is opening up in virtual realities. So you can be yourself, but it's quite scary to be yourself. I understand. So yeah. So I think yes.
So yeah, I think yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah. In augmented reality, I saw an app from an American company that was using a phone app in which they use the front camera to and a combination with AI to identify emotions, and also use those emotions in the AR experience on your tablet or on your phone. So I think it will only get bigger and bigger, and
Yeah. I agree. I think the rate of technology change and the rate of innovation, it's on an exponential slope. So all of those technologies, they don't have to be AR or VR technologies, but they can feed into each other. All of those will be connected, interconnected, and from that, a quantified self, maybe in an experience format, or to give insight on why you are feeling the way you are feeling. There's definitely some entrepreneur out there that's going to do something great. So I'm looking forward to that future, and I hope it's all positive.
Yeah. Yes. That's indeed true, and we are all here to guide that, so to speak.
Yeah. If you want to have a tip, just to get on Netflix and look up the series Black Mirror. And then it's season 3, episode 2, and it's called Playtest. And this is exactly what's going to happen in 2-3 years. And Playtest, it's quite hard, but it's nice to see, because it's playing with your craziness and your anger, and it's activating more and more. So it's quite nice and good to see the evil side of technology in your environment. Yeah. But it was very learnful for me. So
yeah,
that's it. Black Mirror.
Black Mirror, yes. Well, that's a great tip. I would like to thank you, guys, our guests, for attending this roundtable and share some light on VR, AR, working in this industry. Thank you very much for your time. Thank you very much for your answers. Also, thank you very much for being able to reach out. So people can ask you questions, maybe tonight or tomorrow they think, I have this question. Okay, cool. Thank you very much. I would like to thank our audience as well. Thank you for joining us. I hope it was useful or entertaining. Yes, that's the word. Entertaining or a combination of those things.